Hi guys, this is Scribbly again with another pen review, and today we are going to look at one or better two Diplomat pens. Now before I start the review, I have to say that I am kind of biased towards Diplomat pens because I've already reviewed two other Diplomat pens. The ones that I'm going to look at today are the Diplomat Excellence A, and I've already reviewed a Diplomat Aero and a Diplomat Excellence A Plus. And I really love those pens. So I love Diplomat pens in general. So as said, I'm a little bit biased towards those pens. Be aware when you watch that review. However, I don't really know if I can call that biased, because the Diplomat really are top-notch pens. I really gotta say that. So as said, the two twinsies here that we're going to have a look at today are the fountain pens Excellence A in Guilloche. It's a silver chrome finish, the Guilloche finish. There are two different Guilloche finishes available. One is like sort of a lined, striped, fluted finish, and the other one is sort of a chiseled or chiseled finish. And I'm going to show you the pens in a minute. So we are going to focus on those two different Guilloche finishes on the one hand side, but as you see on the other hand side, I also have one steel nibbed pen and one 14-karat gold nibbed pen. Both pens are with fine nibs, so the gold and the steel nibs are both fine nibs. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference in between those nibs, because often people ask me, is the gold nib worth it, because the gold nib pen is considerably more expensive than the steel nibbed one. We are going to start by having a look at the package. I'll just look at one packaging because they're both essentially exactly the same. The Diplomat packaging, I really like it. It's really spectacular, top-notch quality, as you would expect from such a high-quality pen. It has the Diplomat logo here on that whiter card box outer sleeve, that white outer card box sleeve, so to speak. That logo is actually called the ink flower. Diplomat calls it the ink flower. Says Diplomat, a typo logo here, typographic logo since 1922. Diplomat logo and everything here as well, with the Diplomat website. The Diplomat ink flower sort of like folded around that edge or something like that. And then, as said, the model name here, which is the Excellence A. Then you slide that thing out, and out comes a very presentable box. That here is metal or aluminium or something like that. The ink flower again, Diplomat logo, then a box here with some, I don't know, like a kind of rough surface. Looks a little bit like fabric, but I guess it's carton or paper or something like that. You open it up like that. Now it comes out. So you see that is metal, really nice packaging. You fold the box open like this, and then here on this cushioned pen pillow or whatsoever, you will find the pen, and then you take that thing out. You get two ink cartridges, and then you get a small booklet that contains warranty information, and then some kind of maintenance information, how to fill the pen, different nib sizes and nibs available, and all that. The pens are available, the fountain pens are available in fine, medium, and broad, and then all those pens are also available as rollerballs, ballpoints, and mechanical pencils. But we are going to have a look at the fountain pens today. So the two pens are here. This is the Diplomat Excellence A Guilloche. Now, there is also, just to get that out of the way, there is also a Diplomat Excellence A Plus. And the difference, apart from the different finishes that the pens are available in, is that the A has a push-on cap, right? Like this. And the A Plus has a screw-on cap that unscrews with a spectacular 1/4 or not even 1/4 of a turn. That's difference number one. Difference number two is the clip. The Diplomat A, the Excellence A, has yeah, a clip like that, kind of standard clip, not spring loaded. And the A Plus has a spring loaded clip with sort of a grippy thing down there, and the clip does look a lot more massive, as you can see. So just for you to know, that's the difference between the A and the A Plus. Excellence A and Excellence A Plus. So now let's have a look at those two beauties here. And let's have a look at the different guilloche finish first. So that here is the fluted or striped guilloche, as you may want to call it. Very nice shiny chrome pen. There's a lot of sunlight out there today, so it looks as if the pen picks up fingerprints quite a lot. It does pick up fingerprints, but actually it looks a lot worse here in the sunlight right now than it would be in a normal room or office lighting situation. You don't really see the fingerprints on it. However, it is a shiny pen. And then you see my camera setup and part of my upper body here, very shiny. Bottom of the pen or end of the pen with a little ridge here that I'm going to show you that later is like, I think it's used to post the pen. I think it holds the pen in place a little bit. And this is the other guilloche finish, which is like, chiseled, sizzled, kind of different type of finish, which I also quite like a lot. So I think in the end, it's just a matter of taste. I prefer this finish here. I find that a little bit more beautiful. It's matches more my personal taste. But that one here is also really, really nice, which is why I have that pen as well. So those are the two different finishes. And the only other difference in between those two pens in my versions here is that I have one with a steel nib and one with a gold nib, and I'm going to look at that in a minute. But let's cover the pen in general first, after we have talked about those two different finishes. The finial up here is this Diplomat ink flower logo, which I find extremely beautiful. Sticks out here a little bit like that. You can see that comes out here like, I don't know, like 0.5 millimeter or so. Then you have like the cap up here is slightly domed, slightly rounded, which I also find really beautiful. I mean, like I really dig that pen design. I just love those pens. The clip, as said, is not spring loaded. Is definitely on the tight side, which is nice because like it's definitely going to keep that pen in your shirt pocket. You then have a push on cap, as said, inside a plastic inner cap that prevents the nib from drying out. Then a center band here on the cap saying Diplomat since 1922 and made in Germany on the other hand side. The pen tapers down towards that side here a little bit, and then as said, that ridge down here, let's see if that is used to post the pen. No, it's not used to post the pen. It's just like, I think a design element, because the pen actually posts inside that little plastic cap here. As said, pen can be posted, posts securely and deep, posts almost halfway down the pen's barrel, as you can see. Very nice. That won't fly off. As said, posts fairly deep, posts fairly securely, posted very comfortable. The pen does not get top heavy whatsoever because, as said, it does post so deep. Let's try with that one here. But same thing, I guess. Yeah, doesn't get top heavy. Very nice, very nicely balanced. But I personally prefer to write the pen unposted because we do a size comparison to my standard reference pen Alamy Safari in a minute. It's a quite, not really large pen, but it is definitely on the larger side. It's not a small pen. So it's perfectly balanced. This is the perfect weight and balance pen size for me and for my hand size. I really, really like that. So there's no need for me to post that pen because, just the perfect size like that. So I think we've covered everything about the pen here. That clip shape here is a kind of typical Diplomat clip shape. You find that also on the Diplomat Traveler, for instance, which is a slightly smaller pen. The section is a lacquered black lacquered section. It does not very comfortable to hold. It doesn't get slippery whatsoever, even in longer writing sessions. We cover the nib in a minute because I want to compare the nibs. Then you screw on the section screws onto the barrel like that. That feels like super well machined. You really feel that there are tight tolerances at work here. You have a small rubber O-ring here that sort of like really makes sure that the barrel sits on the section, that it seals tight. Very nice, perfect threading. You get a Diplomat converter, of course, also with the pen, which is something that you would expect for a pen at that price point. Is the both pens for the, like I do a comparative writing sample in a minute, so both pens are filled with the same ink, which in that case here is a J. Herbin Gris Nuage. Quite large ink capacity, those converters. Very nice. And now the moment that probably everyone waited for, the nib comparison, steel nib and gold nib. Both are number 6 Jowo nibs. Jowo makes those nibs for Diplomat as far as I am informed. It's a quite simple nib design, but I really like it. Has the ink flower on, says Diplomat since 1922, and then the width designation F for fine. Feet down there. You already see the tipping material is different. They're both fine nibs, but the gold one here is a lot finer than the steel one here. You see the difference in tipping material. Yeah, and then of course the gold one here is I think it might be rhodium plated. Anyway, it's a bicolor nib, so that part here in front and the ink flower is actually gold, and then the gold one also says 14 karat 585 gold. Yeah, that's that. So before we jump into a writing sample, we do a size comparison of those pens, and I don't have a Lamy Safari here at the moment, but I have the rather new Lamy Lux here that I still have to review, and since it's the same size as a Lamy Safari, that will perfectly serve as a size comparison for us. So I think it's safe to say that they're both pretty much exactly the same length, and also the cap to body ratio is more or less the same. We uncap the pen, and that's what I meant when I said that the pen is not exactly a small pen, because also the Lamy Safari All-Star are not exactly small pens. That one here wants to roll away, stay. Even here, I would say it's safe to say that it's pretty much exactly the same length, pretty much the same section to body ratio as well, apart from the nib, the number 6 nib here, of course, being a lot larger. And then, yeah, I mean, posted, we can post the pen, but as said, I use the pen unposted. I use both of these pens, the Lamy and the Diplomat, unposted, because they are such long pens, or long enough pens. So it's perfectly fine for me. Posted, the Lamy is a little bit longer, but yeah, I personally would never use that pen posted. Well, that's that. Yeah, before we get into the writing sample, let's talk about the price for a minute. The regular steel nibbed pen costs around 150 euro. I've seen them ranging on the internet for anything in between 130 to 190 euro, but I think it's safe to say that the average cost is 150 euro for the pen with the steel nib. Now the pen with the gold nib does cost around 100 euro more. It retails for in between 220 to 280 euro. Normally, yeah, you find it around 250, 260, somewhere there. So that's 100 euro just for a gold nib. Is it worth it? My honest opinion, I am not sure, and it's probably really up to you. And I'm going to show that in the writing sample in a minute. The gold nib, same nib width, is a little softer. It's a little finer, but since the steel nib really is that excellent, I am not sure if I would pay the premium of 100 euro for getting a gold nib, because as said, the steel nib really is excellent. So it's more or less up to you. I probably wouldn't pay it, because it's, yeah, almost double the pen price. Yeah, but anyway, let's jump into a writing sample and zoom in for that a little bit. The nibs are really excellent. I am going to start with the steel fine nib. So here we have, with Gris Noir, the Diplomat Excellence A, Guilloche, with a fine nib. Now the nib is super smooth. It's definitely on the wetter side. Gris Noir is a little bit a wet ink. It's by no means, as you can see in the shading that Gris Noir exhibits here, it's by no means a dry pen. It's definitely rather on the wet side. So now we're going to do the writing sample with a fine gold nib. Now this is a bit dry because I had the pen uncapped for a little while. That normally doesn't happen, but in the course of a review, pen uncapped, that can happen. Diplomat, and you already see that the nib is finer. Excellence A, of course the Guilloche as well. Guilloche, and that is also a fine nib, but it's the 14K. That nib is also on the wetter side. I don't really see that here because this is a pretty absorbent paper. A final line with demonstration, that is the 14K fine, and here we have the steel fine. So you see definitely a difference in nib width. Zoom back out. Whoops, pen's rolling away. So that was that with the review of those two pens. That's supposed to be here. Awesome pens. They are definitely one of my favorite pens, as is the black lacquered A+ that you've seen. Really nice pens for that money. Around 150 euro. A wonderful pen. As said, one of my favorite pens. Is it worth to pay 100 euro extra for a gold nib? I think that's up to you. I probably wouldn't pay it, but as said, the nib is a bit finer, the nib is a bit softer, so there is a difference that you can feel with writing. But in the end, it's up to you. I hope, as always, that this review was also helpful to you, that you enjoyed watching it, and I am glad to see you at the next review. Bye bye.